What's going on? I know, it's been a while. Been busy. Got at least phase 1 of the upgrades done. As I mentioned in my last video, I got a router, was going to get a billing system, was going to do some 60 gigahertz radios, all this different kind of stuff. Well, phase 1 of it was the billing system, the first thing that needed to happen before I could do the rest. And it's done-ish. I'll explain, don't worry. The first part of doing the whole payment portal thing was redoing my website, because my website before was just kind of there. It was a contact form. That was pretty much it. That was a huge pain in the ass in and of itself. I had so many different issues with so many... I tried installing WordPress on a Linode VM. I tried doing it in another one I don't remember. I ended up doing DigitalOcean, and it worked, finally. There were SSA or certificate issues, SSL, all that kind of stuff. It was a nightmare trying to get it to work, because it would go to my website, but it would do HTTPS. And on Linode, it didn't have a SSL cert published. So I was trying to publish one, and Chrome basically only goes to SSL, like HTTPS sites. Good luck getting it to go to a non-secure site. It's a pain in the ass. But I spun it up on DigitalOcean to give it a try, and it published a cert and did it all for me, and poof, I was up and running. I was like, sweet. I made this using a WordPress plugin called Elementor. It's very nice once you figure out how to work it. Again, another huge pain in the ass, but it works. Looks good. I like it. I did this picture probably 3 months ago now, and plopped it in there as a placeholder and ended up leaving it because I think it looks pretty good. So you click the big button in the middle, portal login. Hey, there we go. What system did I end up going with though? Originally, I was going to go with one, and it was very expensive. Being a small company, I'm only one guy. I have 40 subscribers-ish now, so not big by any stretch of the imagination. Most of these companies bill on based on how many subscribers you have. So if you have up to however many, it's however much. Okay, sounds fair. I think they were doing $500 or something up to 200 subscribers, something like that. I don't remember. And they wanted it all paid like up front, kind of, for the first 2 months or whatever. And I was like, I think we could work on this a little. Like, you're kind of penalizing me for being a small company, because, big companies, they'll pay the initial setup or whatever the big fee was. I don't remember. They'll pay it. It's not a big deal. And I could have done it, but it really wasn't fair to treat the little guys like that. So I was like, nah. And I ended up going with Sonar. Sonar does basically the same thing, but they're $250 a month up to 200 subscribers, I think, something like that. It was a lot more economical and a little bit more fair to the little guys. So I liked what they had to offer. I liked the way that it all worked and everything, and away we went. I'm going to do a quick overview of what all it does and what it looks like and stuff. So here we go. So this is what the accounts page in Sonar looks like. This is where you spend the majority of your time. And if you click a user and click manage like that, this shows you the overview, how much they're due. You can track their data usage, ticket tracking. You can put notes in there, obviously, and a map. All that different kind of stuff is all in the accounts tab, the accounts place. The accounts page, whatever. I like the way it was laid out. It has everything kind of where you would expect it. There is a few things about it that's a little bit annoying. There's a little bit more clicking than there should be for certain things, but overall, it's pretty intuitive and pretty easy to use. Editing contacts is one part that's a little bit kind of convoluted in the way that it works, because you have to kind of go into their overview and then go into the contacts, and then you can go in and edit contact info like phone numbers and stuff. And they threw the username and password in there too, which is kind of weird. That's all kind of whatever. What's strange about it though, you have to click a specific edit phone numbers thing to edit the phone number. Like, why isn't that in with the rest of the contact stuff? It's kind of strange, but it works. You get used to it. So the billing tab is another place that's a little bit it takes some getting used to. You have your invoices and your service packages and all that kind of stuff in this place, which, okay, fine, that makes sense. And you would think that to create a new invoice you would click the blue invoice, new invoice button, add invoice on the right. Yep. You'd think you would click add invoice to make a new invoice. And that's half true. What you have to do to create, like say I want to send somebody an invoice for a router or something that I sold them. What you have to do is, and I just noticed, I think mine looks different than, yeah, so watching this, I just noticed that transaction history isn't what mine says. And it's all a bit different. I'm using their video, so I don't have to blur out like the entire freaking video. But this is what mine looks like. It says transactions, and when you click transactions, you get this stuff here instead of what is shown on their video. Like I was saying, if you're trying to, say, send somebody an invoice for a router or something you sell them, before you can add invoice, you have to create the transaction. So you do one-time transaction, you can create it in there, and then you go in here and add invoice, and then you can do it. Again, it's a bit convoluted, kind of, in a way. It's just kind of strange. You wouldn't think it would work like that, but once you get the hang of it, it's not bad. It's just kind of odd at first. The network and inventory tab is where you go to assign IPs and track your inventory, as the name would suggest. I haven't really done a whole lot in here yet because I don't have the router set up, so it doesn't really do anything for me yet. Inventory-wise, I might start tracking my routers and radios and stuff in there, but I don't really stock a whole lot usually anyway, so I may not utilize this tab a whole lot. Not yet anyway. Tickets is another tab that I don't use quite yet, and I may or may not in the future. This is where you go to track like trouble tickets and stuff like that, like service calls and whatever. I might use it at some point, but right now, nah, probably not. Jobs is where you can go to assign installs and whatever to your installers. I actually might use this. I'm working on getting it set up for my installer, getting him an account and everything, but I'll go over the problems with that in a second. I'm having lots of issues regarding, well, yeah, I'll go over that in a minute. But I will be using this. It'll be very nice to, because there's a calendar you see on the left, the scheduling. You can actually go in and put your dates that you're available in and when you're not and whatever. It's a lot easier than the way I do it now, which is basically just messaging him like, hey, when are you available? It's, it works, but it's a little clunky. Being able to use an actual scheduling tracker and assign jobs and stuff is not only the right way to do it, it's a lot easier. Correspondence is just the, when you call them or when you talk to them or whatever, you can track it. I don't know if I'll use that or not. Contacts. This is where you go in and you can edit their email and their login info. You can also add their phone number here. And again, a little bit weird how you have to add them separate in like separate windows, but again, you get used to it. So that's just a quick little overview of what Sonar looks like and what you can do with it. It's pretty good. I like it overall so far. But the issue I'm having with it is it decided to stop sending emails. This is kind of important. I'm trying to create a account for my installer and he can't get the email to go activate his account. Not only that, I can't send invoices. I can't send mass emails. I can't do anything. Sonar's been great. I've been talking to them about trying to get it fixed and they've been working on it and everything for, God, probably a week and a half now. They've been really good as far as the support side of thing goes. I don't necessarily hold this against them. It's just one of those weird things that actually may not have even been their fault, because they have integrations on the back end for sending emails and stuff. I think the tools or the settings or whatever that they use in the back end, like my back end's back end, I think something happened back there. At least that's what they're thinking right now. I don't know. They're working on it. I don't really hold them to at fault for it, though. They're going to give me a discount. I can't use it. Oh, and they do give you your first month free. So the way that this works is you'll do your setup, your install and everything. You'll get everything kind of set up. And then once you go live, your first month is free. So that's kind of cool. This month, well, May is going to be free for me because of that. And we're gonna chat about some things as far as this whole email thing goes, because I haven't been able to use the system for probably close to 2 weeks now. And yeah. So, new website's done. The portal is up and running-ish. Everything's chugging right along, but all this stuff, there's a million moving pieces to any single thing. Build a website. Well, okay, that actually is 100 things in and of itself. Well, do the portal. It's like, well, okay, that's also 100 different things in and of itself. Got to set up email accounts for it. You got to tie everything all together. It's all involved. It all takes a lot of time. So if you're going to do this kind of thing, be patient. Don't expect it to be up and running in like 2 days, because probably ain't going to happen. Overall, so far, highly recommend Sonar. They've been really, really good in a lot of ways. The issues that we're having, again, I don't necessarily blame them for it. Things happen. It's not the end of the world. On the other hand, my payment processor, I was going to go with IPPay. God love them. They're a great company, highly recommended, but getting that set up is like buying a house. It is a ton of paperwork and a ton of hoops and things to jump. It's not easy. Again, that's not their fault. From what I understand, that's what the banks require. Well, I was trying to get it up and running with them for, God, long time. And John told me, hey, we use Stripe. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. And come to find out, it integrates with Sonar. So I looked into it, and no joke, 5 minutes, it was up and running. IPPay really needs to get with the times, I guess you could say, or update their policies, or whatever the case is. I don't understand why the process is so completely different for the exact same thing. They're both credit card processors. That's all they do is just process credit card payments. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, because IPPay and Stripe, the actual process could not be any more different. IPPay, you got to send them all kinds of stuff. You got to prove identity. You got to prove residency. You got to send them bank statement, all kinds of different stuff. Stripe, you log in a website, you type a few things, poof, done. I don't know how it could be so different. So I'm using Stripe, not necessarily by choice, but just out of convenience, really. It is so much easier to get up and running. That being said, it also hasn't worked for basically the whole time I've been trying to use it. Another window I have to blur like all of, but I wanted to show you what it's doing. It's blocking everybody's damn transactions. It keeps flagging everything as risk level highest and blocking it. All of them. The two that succeeded were because the support people went in and unblocked that specific card. All of these other ones, yeah, blocked because reasons. Wouldn't really be a big deal. You know, you go in there and you disable the rule or you change it or whatever so it works right. Cool. Move on with life, right? No. Stripe support loves to explain how things work. They send me long emails talking about how rules work and what blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care. I need to be able to get paid. Why is it blocking everybody's payments? And they tell me, oh, well, they have to put their address in and their CVV and all that. They are. It's not working. It's flagging everything as high risk, and I don't know why. It's been 3 or 4 different separate clients have tried to pay. All of them are blocked. All of them. I did a little test payment when I first set it up for like $2 or $5 or something from, myself. And that worked okay. So I thought I was good. Well, started sending invoices back when the email was working. And yeah, everyone's like, it won't work. And I get in there and I see blocked. I'm like, what the hell? So I hit them up like, hey, stop, stop, turn this off. Whatever it is why ever this is happening, whatever make it stop. They can't. They can't. I've been working with them for, again, probably close to 2 weeks now, trying to get it to work. They don't know. I even called them and they had to escalate it to their level 2 team or whatever. It's like, I don't understand how a service provider could fail so hard that they can't get their own thing to work. Like, it baffles me. It's miscategorizing all my payments. Why? Nobody knows. So that's another thing that's working but not. Yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks. Like I said, if you're going to try to set this stuff up, don't expect it to work in a couple days because it isn't going to happen. But, progress, steps in the right direction, I suppose. Eventually this stuff will be sorted out. When? I don't know. Eventually, I guess. But that's it for phase 1, mostly. Phase 2, I guess you could say, is I'm going to install the router so I can do network monitoring and throttling and auto disconnects and all that kind of stuff, because Sonar will do all that stuff. Track people's usage. If they don't pay, it'll cut them off. All that kind of stuff. And that's what the MikroTik that I got is all about. I'm going to use it for that. That's going to be the next thing. I'm going to get that installed on the tower. And then after that, I'm going to put up my 60s. And hopefully, if I can get enough through the backbone, I'll be able to sell some different, some faster service packages. I'd like to be able to sell like a 100 meg service would be nice. maybe 200, something like that. But I have to have the backbone before I can do it. I can't sell something that I don't have. And the 60s would be phase 3, if you will. Little here, little there. Progress, right? Let me know what you think of the new website. Anyone else out there using Sonar or another payment processor? What are you guys using? As far as how it compares to UCRM, UCRM is Ubiquiti's customer portal, and it does a lot of the same stuff that Sonar does. I haven't used UCRM in a long time. I know it's changed a lot since I used it. I'm not 100% sure as to what it does and doesn't do anymore. Back when I used it, I couldn't get it to work reliably to save my life. It just would not, it was not stable at all. I know people that use it now and they say it's good. So maybe it's been fixed. I don't know. But that's why I went with Sonar instead of trying to wrestle UCRM into cooperating. Sonar is at least partially run by them, and that's done. You know, I don't have to worry about it. Though, yeah, about those emails, huh? Jeez, it's always something, I swear. UCRM and Sonar, they do basically the same thing. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there that do a lot of the same stuff. I know, what is it called? Tower coverage can integrate with Sonar as well. That's on the agenda as well. People can be able to, that let people log onto your website, punch in their address, and see if you could reach them, basically. That would be really nice, because I get people emailing me all the time and messaging me and stuff like, hey, can you go? And it'd be nice for them to be able to log on and see for themselves. That'd be really cool. So that's going to happen eventually. I don't know if that works with UCRM or not. I know it works with Sonar, but it may work with UCRM. I'm not sure. I'm also working on getting a discount code or some type of thing like that for anybody that wants to use Sonar or try it out or whatever. It's in the works. If you're thinking about doing this kind of thing, stand by. I'm working on it. Leave a comment down below so they know you guys are waiting. Other than that, that's all I got for now. More stuff in the works, so stay tuned. Later.